This podcast is written and narrated by Manoj Zalte. In part 1, we looked at how communication changed from then to now. Now we turn to something that looks smaller but has a tremendous impact on our lives: notifications. On the surface, a notification looks harmless, just a sound, just a light on the screen, just a small message waiting for us. But what happens around that notification, inside our mind, inside our body, and within our inner peace is far from harmless. Across this podcast, we will explore the journey of notifications through our lives and the constant interplay between our outer world of technology and social media and our inner world of thoughts, emotions, attention, and peace. We will follow one notification through four important moments: the impact it creates even before we touch the phone, what happens when we see the notification message, what happens after we read it, and the space between notifications. Different moments surrounding one small sound. Each moment may seem ordinary, but each can have a profound impact on our lives. Together, they can significantly shape our attention, our emotions, and the way we experience everyday life. Today, one of the most persistent influences on our attention, our emotions, our inner peace comes from something we can no longer completely avoid: notifications. Notifications and messages are now an inseparable part of our lives. In many ways, we cannot function without them. There is space between notifications, but that space is not always silent. Often, it is filled with waiting, expecting, imagining, and inner noise. This podcast is about becoming aware and slowly learning to create small, quiet moments within spaces between notifications. And today, we begin with the first moment, the moment before we touch the phone. The sound arrives, and even before we see the notification, before we see the screen, before we read the message, something inside us has already changed. The body may still be here, but the mind is already gone. What is that small notification actually doing inside us? The sound is small, the buzz is small, the light on the screen is small. But around that small thing, there is a whole invisible world. Before it, during it, between it, and after it. Slowly, without us noticing and without us consciously choosing it, our inner life begins to orbit around notifications. That small sound pulls our attention away from our work, from the people in front of us, and from the simple presence of this moment. Our natural state is presence. We are born with it. No one teaches it to us. We are simply born with it. Just look at a child. Child does not need digital stimulation to feel alive. A child is already immersed in colors, shapes, sounds, touch, movement, play, and the simple wonders of everyday life. The immediate world is enough, more than enough. Over time, without even noticing it, we become conditioned to live in stress and anxiety. Slowly, it begins to feel like our default mode. And presence, our natural state, begins to feel like something we have to search for. Waking naturally in the morning used to be returned to presence to ourselves. We came back to our body, to our breath, to our own existence. For a few quiet moments before the world made any claim on us, we belonged only to ourselves. Morning once began with sunlight, with the songs of birds, with the ordinary sounds of life awakening around us, and with the quiet feeling of our own body. Now it often begins with a ping. The sun is still there. The birds are still singing, but often we no longer notice them. We do not return to ourselves, we return to the network. The first thought is no longer I am here. Now it is what is there: a message, a missed call, an update, something waiting for me. And this is a quiet but enormous reversal. We have placed the world before the self. We meet others before we have met ourselves. We begin responding before we have fully arrived. The body has awakened, but the mind has already left. It has left the body, it has left the room, and it has wandered somewhere else into the virtual world of imagined possibilities, expectations, and illusions. Many times we are reading, writing, gardening, creating something meaningful, talking to someone, eating with family, walking quietly, or simply being present with ourselves. And in those moments, we are not missing life, we are already living it fully, quietly, completely. Real life is already happening, not somewhere else, not on the screen, not inside the next notification. It is happening here and now, in the book, in the conversation, in the food we are eating, in the silence, in the breath, and in the ordinary moments of everyday life. And then suddenly there is a sound, a small notification sound, and in that instant something breaks. Our presence, which was complete just a moment ago, is interrupted. Our attention, which was gently resting in one place, is suddenly shattered into pieces. Physically, nothing has changed. We have not even seen the notification yet. We are still sitting in the same chair, standing in the same room, walking on the same road, eating at the same table, or talking with same people around us. Everything around us is exactly the same. And yet, inside us, something has completely shifted. Even before we reach for the phone, the mind has already reached there. It has already started making its own story. The anxiety of the unknown begins. We have heard the sound, something has arrived, and we become curious about what it is. And that not knowing, that small uncomfortable gap between the sound and the screen, is where the mind first becomes restless. Who sent it? What do they want? Is something wrong? Could it be important? We do not know it, but the mind does not wait for reality. It begins reacting to possibility. The hand follows letter. It almost always follows. But by then, the mind is already gone. Long before we have even realized it has moved away. The body is still here, but the mind has already left. It has left this space, it has left the present moment. In that one split second, the notification carries endless possibilities. It could be something urgent, something tender, something completely ordinary, or something we are not ready for. All of it once, all of it unknown. Our mind is pulled into a mental world that does not physically exist. A world made of messages and assumptions, expectations, reactions, possibilities, judgments, urgency, and emotions that may not yet belong to reality. But the mind is already living there, already responding, already feeling, already lost. We are not just hearing a sound, we are imagining the sender before we have seen the name. We are imagining the message before we have read a single word. We are building an entire situation out of nothing, out of our own past, our own fears, our own hopes, and our own unfinished thoughts. And then we project all of it onto a dark screen, an imaginary story created by the mind, a story that may have nothing to do with what is actually real. This has happened to me many times. I would be deeply absorbed in some routine work, not expecting any message, when suddenly a notification would arrive. In a moment, my mind would jump out of my work. My attention would be gone. The flow would be broken. The world I was creating would suddenly disappear. And finally, when I checked the message, it would turn out to be nothing important. Just an advertisement. A few seconds perhaps. But the real loss was not only those few seconds. It was the interruption, the broken concentration, the effort required to return to the same depth of thought again. And when I begin adding together all these small interruptions, day after day, month after month, year after year, I begin to realize how many precious moments of life I have taken away by things that meant almost nothing. This podcast is my own experience, my ongoing struggle, and my journey towards peace, silence, solitude, and the spaces between notifications. It is about falling, learning, restarting, and slowly discovering a deeper awareness within everyday life. Let's make technology our friend, something that helps us live better, not something that slowly takes away our peace. We are not here to talk about abandoning technology. We cannot ignore the modern world. We do not need to throw away our phones or live on a mountain to find peace. We have to live with all this and still learn to find peace within it. The digital world is quietly reshaping our attention, our relationships, and the texture of our everyday lives. The challenge is to stay connected to the world without becoming disconnected from our own mind, our own attention, and our own peace. And if we become aware of this, we can slowly begin to restore a little peace, a little presence, a little balance, a little space, our own space between notifications. Life is not about extremes, it is about balance. The first step in moving away from stress and traveling towards peace is awareness. We must become aware of what causes stress within us. The next step is to work on it slowly with awareness, sincerity, and honesty. This is not a quick solution. It is not a destination we reach once and for all. It is not one time change. It is an ongoing lifelong process of noticing, understanding, learning, sometimes falling, and gently standing up again. Because peace is always waiting for those who do not give up, those who keep finding their way back to it. Because silence is not about running away, silence is about returning to ourselves, returning to the present moment, returning to life as it is happening now. Whenever we remember, whenever we find even a small space to come back, the next time we hear that notification sound, pause just for a moment. The mind will move toward it. The eyes may follow, the hands may try to reach it. That is natural. That is what conditioned mind does. Before we reach for the phone, let's try to come back to whatever we are doing, or simply look around. Not at any specific, just around. Notice the room, the people, the light, the furniture. Listen to the birds and passive vehicles and the ordinary sounds of the day. Feel the breeze. Notice the world that is actually here. Experience the life that is already happening around us. Take one slow breath and then ask, does this need my attention right now? Perhaps it does. Perhaps it can wait for a while. The important thing is what we choose consciously. We may check the notification with awareness, or we may return to our work, to our conversation, to the life we are already living. Return gently, with a little more awareness than before. That small delay, just a few seconds, is not nothing. It is the beginning of awareness, the beginning of noticing how a notification pulls the mind away from the present and towards the anxiety of the unknown. It is the beginning of a different relationship with every notification, every message, and every demand for our attention. It is also the beginning of recovering the space we have slowly lost within our own lives. The space to notice, the space to breathe, the space to return to our attention, to our mind, and to ourselves. And slowly, little by little, this small pause can bring to restore silence and peace within our own lives. Not suddenly, not perfectly, but gently. One notification, one breath, one pause at a time. Until we begin to realize that life is not somewhere else. Life is always here and now.